Hi, Michelle here. In today's video, I'm going to take a look at 5 Hoyas I think that we should be talking about, but we aren't. These are Hoyas that I think are really interesting. I think they'd be really great to add to someone's collection. I think they are kind of unusual, a step back or a step aside from the more typical Hoya leaf shapes and leaf styles we get. And I have 5 here I'm going to show you. One does kind of look a little familiar, but hopefully the other ones are a little different for you today. And I hope that you get an idea of some Hoyas that you might like to add to your collection after this video. If you like today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That lets the word out to the YouTube universe that my channel exists and that I have Hoya and plant-related content that other people might be interested in. If you'd like to see more plant-related content like this, especially Hoya-related content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I do have a goal to make it to 500 subscribers, and I'm almost there. I would really love to get to the 500 mark, and then after that, my goal is the 1,000 subscriber mark. Considering that I started this channel with 0 subscribers about 6 months ago, I'm really happy with my progress, and it's all thanks to you. So thank you for watching. If you've already subscribed, thank you for subscribing. And if you'd like to add to the conversation, please put a comment in the comment section below. I do read and respond to all the comments, but please give me a day or two to respond because it may take me a little time. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at 5 Hoyas that we should be talking about, but we're not. The first Hoya is one that is quite similar to another Hoya that is also not talked about very often, and this is the rubida. This Hoya has really lovely leaves. The leaves are, on the more mature leaves, the leaves are thick, they are sturdy. On the new leaves, they're very thin. They don't have any fuzz on them or anything like that. They do kind of come in a lighter color. Let's see if I can get this new tendril. As you can see, it's got a new tendril right here coming out from the back of the trellis. It's got some new growth right here as well. But I love how this Hoya will trellis. It does normally grow straight up and then branch out. I will say that this is similar to the Medusa, which I thought about putting in this video instead of the rubida, but I kind of give it a toss and a turn, and we talk about the Medusa, but we never talk about the rubida, so I thought that I would talk about that. If you can see the leaf, it does have veining in the leaf, very beautiful veining. It's got a center rib, and it's got veins coming out from that. The back of the leaf is very nice, but I love how this Hoya will trellis. It hangs beautifully. These leaves hang beautifully. This is not a trailing down Hoya. This is definitely a climbing Hoya. I don't know what other people's look like when they are climbing. Not that many people have a rubida. I'll ask you, how many people out there have a rubida of your own? I would love to hear that because I don't really hear of anyone who has one. So the first Hoya that I would love to talk about with other Hoya growers, but we don't really talk about this, is the rubida. The next Hoya that I think we should talk about more, and this is one that has been talked about it's just not being talked about right now, and that is the tengchongensis. The reason why I think we should talk more about this Hoya is that it is a dupe for a serpens. For those who cannot grow serpens, which is me, this is a perfect Hoya to go ahead and try and grow. As you can see, this is pretty thick with growth, and to see the other side. So this has been wrapped around quite a few times. It does have peduncles. Let me see, it's got a peduncle right here where my thumb is. It's hard to find the peduncles. It's got a little peduncle right here where my index finger is. When I was wrapping this up, it had quite a few peduncles. I'm hoping that this will bloom for me. That would be really awesome. This was talked about quite a bit when the serpens was having its heyday and it was impossible to find a serpens. People would talk about the tengchongensis or more frequently the affinity serpens, the Zhaoji 001 or 003, I think it is. But people kind of put the tengchongensis at the side, and I think it's really underrated because it does have a lot of texture on the leaves. The leaves are very thick. I just love the texture on the leaves, though. It can be a rapid grower. This is in probably the worst mix ever. It has the thinnest roots, though. I don't know if you can see those roots in there, but they are super, super thin and fragile. So I haven't taken this Hoya out of the substrate it came with, and I've had this plant about 1.5 years. I don't always repot Hoyas as they come in, unless there is something wrong with them. I don't automatically repot to my preferred mix. I let them adapt, and if they're adapting good and growing, I normally don't mess with them. So I have a lot of Hoyas that are still in their grower's mix. Why fix what's not broke? So this is another one that's in its grower's mix, and I've had this for about 1.5 years. So the tengchongensis, I think, has plenty of interesting features that it definitely should be talked about more, especially as a substitute for the serpens, which is so finicky. That Hoya is so finicky. So the tengchongensis, number 2 on our list of 5 Hoyas that I think we should talk about, but we're not. The third Hoya that I think we should be talking about, what we aren't, is the pulchra. And this is my pulchra. I will hold it up to you. It does not have a trellis right now. And I will tell you, it is still in the grower's mix. Like I said, I don't always repot them right away if they are working fine. But this one I probably will repot because I need to get it on a trellis. Now, why are we not talking about the pulchra? Look at those leaves. Look how deep red purple those new leaves are. And look how gorgeous matte green and dark green the leaves are when they fully mature. I mean, that is a beautiful, beautiful Hoya. The leaves are very smooth. They are not pubescent at all. They are not rough. They are very smooth. They have a midrib, as you can see, a light colored midrib. And then they have some very slight veins going out, radiating out from that midrib. But the new leaves come in that gorgeous, gorgeous deep purple color. And that, I think, the coloration is definitely a big hit with this. Also, the leaf shape is really beautiful. It's the elongated dagger looking leaves. I think that's a definite plus. I love looking at dagger shaped leaves hanging on a trellis. Like I said, this one is not really a trailing Hoya. This is what it looks like when it trails, and it's just not a good look. I think on a trellis, this will look really beautiful. So that's what I'm doing now. But I definitely think people should be talking about this for the color, for the leaf shape, for the new leaves, how they come in. They definitely come in with very thick aerial roots at the nodes. This has got 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes on the stem that are just waiting to get new leaves. I am waiting for new leaves, so I'm hopefully these will grab onto something and produce those leaves soon. So the third Hoya that I would love it if more people talked about, but they don't, is the Hoya pulchra. This is the pulchra white. So I know there's another color, there's a pink color. The fourth Hoya that I think we should talk about more, but it's not, is the I don't know how to pronounce this, corneri, or corneri, or the corneri. I don't know how to pronounce it. Please put it in the comment section below. I don't really know how to pronounce this name. This has been a difficult Hoya for me to grow. For every leaf that's grown, I have several that fall off. And you can see that in the empty nodes on this Hoya. You can see all those nodes where leaves fell off. But the good news is that I have a new leaf right there. If I can get that into focus. And there is also a new leaf right there blooming. But look at these leaves. Don't they remind you of a cross between an splashy, crassy petiolata splash crossed with, say, an undulata? That's what it reminds me of. These leaves, they're not wavy. They have kind of a very thick, fuzzy feeling, like a very stubbly, fuzzy feeling. It's more of a rough texture on the leaf. The leaves are not smooth, they're very rough textured. The oldest leaf is pretty smooth, but it does seem to be a feature of the Hoya that the leaves are rough in texture. But I love the leaf shape, and I love the splashing on those Hoya leaves. That is just, it's so perfect for me. The growth pattern is very interesting, how all the leaves grow, if you can see it on the back, how all the leaves grow so close to each other. It is definitely a tight internodal space. But I'm hoping that this leaf does not fall off. I'm hoping that this leaf right here does not fall off, because I've had about 6 leaves fall off this plant so far. But I do believe that based upon the splashing, based upon the leaf shape, based upon the fact that it's not an expensive Hoya, I do think that it ticks the boxes for a lot of Hoyas that are expensive, so that you could have this Hoya scratch the itch of having a Hoya, say like an undulata, and see how this takes you. But I think it definitely should be talked about more, the corneri. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's how I'm going to pronounce it until one of you in the comments tells me wrong. Thanks. Now the final Hoya of today's video is, and I'm going to have to read this because I know it is the clandestina. It is the IML 0161. Like I said, it's formerly known as the clandestina. And you have to apologize. I do have a yellow leaf on this. I talked about this on the other video, the last video I did, but I did have knee surgery. I had a total knee replacement, and I was out of commission for about a month. My family graciously agreed to water my plants for me, but they are not used to watering my plants for me. So, you know, things can happen. It's so easy to underwater or overwater a plant when you've never watered it before. So this one just got a little watered more than it liked, or a little less than it liked, I'm not for sure, and it threw out a yellow leaf. I could have not filmed this as part of the video because of that leaf, but I feel so strongly about this Hoya that I wanted to include it even with the yellow leaf. So just disregard the yellow leaf. Just know that even in YouTube land, people have bad looking Hoyas. People have Hoyas that have, you know, broken leaves or yellow leaves or missing leaves that have fallen off. You know, it's not, I don't have perfect plants, all perfect plants. I got some real crappy looking plants. But it's all about your interest and what you think. And I think this Hoya is a keeper. The original leaves, let me get this up. Original leaves look like, let me just use this. The original leaves look like this. They are very veiny. The veins are very pronounced. Let me get out of the camera. The leaves are very veiny. They are very distinct. The plant has additional ridges and abs in it beyond where the main ribs are. So you can see as the veins go inside, there are ripples in the plant. Now to show you the rest of the plant doesn't have that pronounced of rippling. You can see this leaf. This leaf has some pronounced mid ribs, but not really the other items. This one is a new leaf, so it's developing its ribs. This one's been around a while, so the ribs are pretty well pronounced. These are new leaves right here. So they are just starting to grow and mature into what kind of leaf they're gonna be. But this one off this leaf is very thin, and it's just starting to get the ribs in, and as you can see, if you shine it differently, you can kind of see some of the additional ribbage or undulation that these leaves are going to get. Unfortunately, probably none until it's very mature, like this back here. Unfortunately, this yellow leaf does look like it's going to die. That was an original leaf. So it came with 3 original leaves. One leaf I broke off the last time I recorded a video with this. Then there's this leaf, and then there's the leaf that I've been showing you, you know, trying to like prop the plant sideways so I can show you. But I really love this plant. This reminds me of a fancy latifolia outer marginata. You know, what's, you know, formerly known as macrophylla. This reminds me of that a lot, but it's fancier. It's more elegant, I should say, than just the latifolia. The latifolia is also a lot bigger leafed, and this one has smaller leaves that fit in my collection a little better. So that is the 5th and final plant that I think we should be talking about more, but we don't. So that's my video for today. I really hope that you enjoyed taking a look at these 5 Hoyas and seeing why I think they should be talked about more, but they're not. Tell me in the comment section, what Hoyas do you think we should be talking about more, but we're not? Have they fallen out of the mainstream? Have they never been in the mainstream? What Hoyas do you think should be given their own due process, due time shown? Let me know in the comment section. I'd really love to hear from you. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to spend it with me and watch this video all the way to the end. I know that you have a lot of things that you could do with your time, so I really appreciate it that you spent the time with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
In a world of green, just like a dream, you and I stand in